Hello, welcome to this channel. Today we will learn about the absolutely shocking turn of events where Gwen von Leuschner orchestrates the ultimate betrayal by replacing Sarah as Xander's bride in what was supposed to be their reconciliation wedding ceremony. The Salem community stands in complete disbelief as what began as Xander Kyriakis and Sarah Horton's attempt to rebuild their fractured marriage transforms into the most scandalous wedding switch in days of our lives' history. The manipulation and scheming that led to this moment reveals the depths of deception that have been brewing beneath Salem's surface for months. Xander's desperate reconciliation attempts. Xander's journey toward this fateful wedding day started with his desperate attempts to win back Sarah's trust after their relationship crumbled under the weight of lies and misunderstandings. The couple, whose shared daughter Victoria, had been navigating treacherous waters as Sarah struggled with her lingering doubts about Xander's violent tendencies and anger management issues. Despite attending counseling sessions with Marlena Evans, Xander couldn't escape the shadow of his past actions that continued to haunt their relationship. The complexity of their situation intensified when Sarah finally admitted she was wrong about believing Xander had viciously attacked his cousin Philip Kyriakis. This admission came after Philip himself repeatedly insisted that Xander wasn't responsible for the brutal beating that left Philip unconscious and bloodied in his hotel room. Sarah's guilt over misjudging Xander became overwhelming, and she begged for his forgiveness while desperately hoping they could salvage their future together. However, what Sarah doesn't realize is that her initial instincts were actually correct. Xander did attack Philip in a fit of rage over the stolen drug formula that could save Bo Brady's life. Philip's decision to protect Xander by lying about the attack has created a dangerous web of deception that threatens to destroy everything Xander holds dear. The irony is devastating. Sarah is apologizing for being right, while Xander allows her to believe a lie that will ultimately backfire spectacularly. Gwen's strategic return to Salem. Enter Gwen von Leuschner, who has returned to Salem as a completely transformed woman, wealthy, confident, and armed with both the resources and motivation to reclaim what she believes rightfully belongs to her. After successfully divorcing Dmitri von Leuschner and securing a substantial portion of his fortune, Gwen has reinvented herself as a formidable force who refuses to be underestimated again. Her dramatic entrance, flaunting the stolen Horton family diamonds, sent shockwaves through the community and served as a clear warning that she had returned with a specific agenda. Gwen's timing couldn't have been more calculated. She arrived precisely when Xander and Sarah's relationship was at its most vulnerable point. The former lovers' recent encounter at the bistro revealed that the chemistry between them remains undeniably powerful, culminating in a passionate kiss that reminded both of them what they once shared. This moment of weakness on Xander's part provided Gwen with the opening she needed to begin implementing her master plan. The scheming beauty has been carefully observing the deteriorating dynamics between Xander and Sarah, noting every argument, every moment of doubt, and every crack in their foundation. Armed with intimate knowledge of Xander's psychology and his tendency to seek comfort in familiar arms during times of crisis, Gwen positioned herself as the perfect alternative to Sarah's constant accusations and emotional distance. The wedding day deception unfolds. As the day of Xander and Sarah's vow renewal ceremony approached, Salem buzzed with anticipation and hope that the troubled couple could finally find their way back to each other. The intimate gathering was planned for the Kyriakis mansion, with close family and friends expecting to witness a beautiful recommitment ceremony that would heal old wounds and provide Victoria with the stable family unit she deserved. But behind the scenes, Gwen was orchestrating the most audacious plan of her criminal career. Using her newfound wealth and connections, she systematically eliminated every obstacle that stood between her and her ultimate goal of claiming Xander as her own. The power outage that plunged Salem into darkness provided the perfect cover for her scheme, allowing her to move through the shadows while implementing the final phases of her plan. The construction site at the hospital became Gwen's temporary headquarters as she coordinated with her accomplices, possibly including E.J. DiMera, who has his own reasons for wanting to see the Kyriakis family suffer. From this strategic location, Gwen could monitor all the key players' movements while remaining hidden from suspicious eyes. The darkness that enveloped Salem wasn't just a power failure, it was a metaphor for the moral darkness that Gwen was about to unleash upon the unsuspecting community. The ultimate betrayal revealed. As guests gathered in the Kiriaki's mansion's elegant parlor, decorated with white roses and flickering candles due to the power outage, anticipation filled the air. Xander stood nervously at the makeshift altar, adjusting his tie while stealing glances toward the staircase where his bride was supposed to make her entrance. The soft murmur of conversation among family and friends created an atmosphere of hope and new beginnings. But when the bridal march began and a figure in white descended the staircase, gasps of horror echoed through the room as the candlelight revealed not Sarah's familiar face, but Gwen's triumphant smile beneath the wedding veil. The shock was immediate and devastating. Sarah was nowhere to be found, and Gwen had somehow managed to take her place at the most crucial moment. The revelation that Gwen had orchestrated Sarah's disappearance and manipulated the entire situation to position herself as Xander's bride sent shockwaves through Salem that will reverberate for months to come. As Xander stared in disbelief at the woman who had just destroyed his last chance at happiness with Sarah, Gwen's satisfied expression made it clear that this was only the beginning of her revenge against everyone who had wronged her. In the most twisted turn of events in Days of Our Lives history, Gwen von Leuschner has successfully replaced Sarah Horton as Xander's bride, leaving Salem reeling from the implications of this devastating betrayal that will change everything forever. Part 2, EJ and Stephanie join forces to plan a gala. Could this be the turning point for the DiMaras? The winds of change are blowing through Salem, and once again, the DiMara name is at the center of the storm. On this particular day, E.J. DiMara steps into his office with the kind of confident stride only a man certain of his power can muster. The weight of recent victories hangs in the air, and E.J., ever the strategist, cannot help but smile as he reflects on the latest developments. Tony's cunning maneuver has fooled the so-called Dim brothers, leaving them scrambling in confusion. E.J. savors the triumph, his delight evident in the glint of his eyes. For E.J., every small victory is just another step toward cementing his family's dominance. Tony, however, seems surprised that their rivals actually believed the DiMaras would simply let a hostile attack pass without consequence. After all, this is the DiMara legacy: retaliation, strategy, and strength. To underestimate the family is to invite disaster. EJ knows this well, and Tony's disbelief only fuels his determination to keep their enemies guessing. With barely a pause, EJ settles behind his desk and begins making calls, moving his plans forward like a chess master orchestrating a winning checkmate. His first call is to Rita, instructing her to accelerate preparations. His tone is sharp, commanding, the voice of a man unwilling to tolerate delays. "Speed up," he says firmly, leaving no room for negotiation. But Rita is only the beginning. EJ has bigger pieces to move into place, and the next is Stephanie. He summons her to the office to move up their meeting concerning the proposed free clinic. The project, meant to cast the DiMaras in a charitable light, is already ahead of schedule, and EJ couldn't be more pleased. What delights him most, though, is the symbolic value Stephanie brings to the table. Her recent name change, a small detail to some, is a significant advantage in EJ's eyes, one that could help reframe the family's reputation at a critical moment. When Stephanie enters the office, however, her demeanor speaks volumes before a single word leaves her lips. She sits stiffly across from EJ, her arms crossed over her chest, posture rigid, and expression cool as ice. It's clear that while she may be here to discuss business, she's not about to give EJ the satisfaction of complete compliance. The air between them practically crackles with unspoken tension. Still, EJ presses on. He outlines his vision with enthusiasm, framing the clinic as not just a charitable endeavor but also a potential public relations coup for the DiMara family. For once, it seems, Stephanie allows herself to be swayed. Slowly but surely, her cold expression softens, and a spark of interest flickers in her eyes. When EJ brings up the need for a press release, Stephanie leans in, intrigued. The idea of being part of something that could have a genuine impact excites her. After all, this isn't just about the DeMaras, this is about creating something lasting for the people of Salem. For a woman who prides herself on her independence and integrity, this project feels like a rare alignment of personal values and professional opportunity. EJ, too, is practically buzzing with energy. He sees Stephanie's tentative approval as confirmation that the tide is turning in his favor. For once, their goals appear to align, and the possibility of mutual success hangs tantalizingly in the balance. But EJ isn't satisfied with just success. He wants spectacle. He wants Salem to not only notice but remember. The opening of the free clinic, he insists, must be nothing short of unforgettable. Stephanie, ever the pragmatist, begins brainstorming ideas. She suggests thoughtful approaches, creative concepts that would showcase the clinic's importance without overshadowing its true purpose. EJ, however, has something far grander in mind. A small event won't do. A modest ribbon-cutting ceremony would fade from memory before the ink dries in tomorrow's paper. What he wants is a splash, a declaration to the world that the DeMaras are back, stronger than ever, and ready to reshape the city. After a pause, Stephanie offers a suggestion, one that instantly changes the mood in the room. What if they host a formal ball? A gala of elegance and sophistication, where the city's most influential names could gather under one roof? The idea, bold yet refined, strikes the perfect balance between spectacle and respectability. EJ's eyes light up at the thought. A gala is exactly the kind of event he's been envisioning, and the timing could not be better. After all, what better way to tie this venture together than to coincide with the 60th anniversary of Days of Our Lives itself? The symbolism alone would be enough to make headlines, and EJ knows it. For him, the gala isn't just a party, it's a statement, a reclamation of power, and a promise of the future. Stephanie, too, finds herself drawn into the excitement. Though her demeanor remains cautious, there's no denying the allure of the idea. A gala would not only put the clinic in the spotlight but could also give the DeMara family an opportunity to show a more human, compassionate side. It could be the rare chance to merge legacy with goodwill, spectacle with sincerity. Still, questions linger. Can this partnership between EJ and Stephanie truly hold? Will their competing visions find harmony, or will underlying tensions threaten to derail the project before it even begins? And perhaps most pressing of all, will the gala, for all its promise, be remembered as a triumph, or as a disaster that exposes just how fragile alliances in Salem can be? Meanwhile, in the shadows of this grand plan, other stories brew. Whispers about Zara ripple through Salem. Can they really survive the trials ahead, or is their union doomed to unravel in the glare of the spotlight? For now, though, all eyes turn to EJ and Stephanie. Together, they are poised to create something extraordinary. But in Salem, as history has proven time and again, even the most dazzling events often conceal dangerous undercurrents. One thing is certain, if EJ and Stephanie can pull off this gala, the DeMaras won't just be making a splash. They'll be making history.